Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing sitting room decorating ideas and how we transformed our unused dining room into a cozy, stylish space. This room used to be a catch-all for everything people dropped as they walked in the house. Sound familiar? Now it's a functional, inviting room we actually use every single day. Whether you're looking to do something similar or just need ideas and inspiration, this video is for you. I'll walk you through step by step how I designed this space and how it evolved from the original concept to what you see today. Disclaimer, this video does contain affiliate links. Before we get into the design, let's talk about what the difference is between a sitting room and a living room. A sitting room is usually a smaller, more intimate space that's designed for conversation or quiet activities like reading. It's often styled to feel elegant and cozy. A living room, on the other hand, is a more casual, multifunctional space where you typically find family gathering to watch TV or entertain guests. Both serve a purpose, but a sitting room adds a little extra charm and functionality to your home. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get into how I transformed this space. We'll start with the concept because for me, that's always the first step. Aside from our dining room being a catch-all, it was only used once a year during the holidays, which just didn't make sense anymore. Fun fact, this space was actually the original living room before we remodeled and added a second floor to our ranch home. That made it the perfect space to convert into a sitting room, a functional and stylish space that we could enjoy every single day. The jumping off point for this design was this fabulous artwork from Left Bank Art that I fell in love with at High Point Market. It completely set the tone for the room. I used it to create the color palette, pulling white, black, and gray as the neutrals and adding pops of pink and blue for some personality and interest. To tie it all together, I mixed in silver and gold accents that you see in the gray and yellow tones of the artwork. Now, while I love a good neutral space, our living room, for example, has a neutral color palette, I also love color. That's the direction I took for this room, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. Even though you might see a lot of neutral, monochromatic spaces trending on Instagram, don't be afraid to bring color into your home. It's such a fun way to show off your personality and make your space feel alive. When creating your own color palette, the process can be super simple. Start with something you love, like a piece of art, an area rug, a print, or even a pillow, and pull the colors from there. Build your palette with a mix of neutrals and accents, and you'll have a cohesive, balanced design that feels uniquely you. For a step-by-step guide on how to create a color palette, watch this video. One thing I want to point out about this sitting room is that it's the first thing that you see when you walk into our home. So I wanted to make a bold statement. At the same time, we have an open floor plan, so I had to be mindful of how this room flows into the main living area. Even though these spaces have very different vibes, this room has a colorful color palette while the main living room is more neutral. I made sure to repeat some of the same colors, textures, and materials in both. Designing them together was intentional because I wanted to be able to move pieces between the rooms whenever I get bored and want a fresh look. That flexibility has been a game changer. Once I had the color palette and the vibe of the space, the next step was to create the floor plan. This step is so important because it lets you see what size pieces will actually fit in the room before making any purchases. I also used it to try out different layout ideas to find the one that worked best for the space. One thing to know about creating a floor plan is that it's an evolving process. When I designed this space, there was a chaise sofa in the corner, a square coffee table, and ottomans next to it. Over time, I've moved things around several times, and honestly, each layout feels like it's the perfect one until I rearrange it again. This just shows you that there's more than one way to lay out your furniture. Don't be afraid to try different ideas and see what works best for your needs today. You could always change it up in the future as your needs evolve or you want a new look. For help measuring and creating a floor plan for your room, download a copy of the free PDF guide in the description below. It'll walk you through everything step by step. Your floor plan is like the roadmap you'll follow to get started, but the real magic happens when you start playing with the pieces. Trying out different layouts, moving things around, and seeing what feels right in the space is where the fun begins. With the floor plan ready, I could finalize the pieces for this room. To make sure everything worked together, I created a design mood board and perspective drawing. This step is so important because when designing any room, you want to look at everything as a whole, not just individual pieces. This is the process I teach in depth in my course, Design a Home 101. If you're looking for a step-by-step guide on how to design your dream space, check out the link in the description below for more details. Once the design mood board was complete, it was time to order the furniture. While we waited for the pieces to arrive, we got started on the prep work for this transformation. The previous dining room was designed during the Tuscan trend and had Venetian plaster walls. This is another reason not to follow the trends. To bring the space up to date, we went through quite the process to prep the walls before painting them Benjamin Moore Classic Gray, OC23. To add depth and texture, we installed grass cloth wallpaper to the main wall. I hired a professional for the wallpaper installation because grass cloth is not cheap, and I didn't want to risk messing it up. Once it was up, it completely transformed the space, adding that subtle, high-end texture that I was looking for. Next, we swapped out the old sconces for the Kelly Wearstler Strata lights from Visual Comfort for accent lighting. These sconces were an investment, but you can definitely find a similar look for way less. I love how the mixed metals, silver from the wallpaper and gold from the sconces, play off of each other. For layered lighting, we replaced the chandelier that used to hang over the dining table with this semi-flush mount fixture from Dutton Brown. It has clean lines and is perfect for spaces where you need to walk underneath without bumping your head. There are 6 arms with 2 adjustable ones and globe bulbs at the end, which create a balanced modern look. If your room has too many hi-hats like mine, don't worry, dimmers are your best friend. Just put everything on a dimmer switch so that you can adjust the lighting and create the perfect mood. The next thing I did while waiting for the furniture to arrive was install the curtains. Since this room is on the smaller size, I wanted to minimize the visual clutter. I chose lucite rods because they're transparent and make the room feel more expansive. Originally, I planned to double up on the curtain panels for the larger windows so that they could be closed for privacy. But after thinking it through, I decided to keep them open. So now we just have 2 panels on either side of the window. When installing your curtains, make sure to extend your rod 8 to 10 inches past the window frame. This keeps the curtain stack from blocking the window and lets in as much natural light as possible. Another pro tip is to mount your rod high, close to the ceiling. This is going to draw the eye up and make your walls appear taller and give your room an elevated look. I did have to hem the curtain panels by about 3 inches, but it was so worth it. It was an easy DIY project that gave them the custom high-end look I was going for. With the lighting, wallpaper, and curtains updated, the space was already starting to feel so much more modern and elevated. Now let's move on to the centerpiece of the room, the sofa. I chose this beautiful navy velvet sofa to bring a touch of sophistication and an elevated feel to the space. It has clean lines, and navy is such a versatile color. It's almost like a neutral similar to black because it works with so many color schemes. This sofa is from Interior Define, and we've had it for 5 years now. Its timeless design and neutral upholstery really set the tone for the entire space. For a full review on this sofa, check out this video. It's also linked below. It did come with these side lumbar pillows, but I ended up removing them because I felt that it looked too busy once I added the throw pillows. What I love about Interior Define is that they have custom furniture at a super affordable price. You could choose everything, your fabric, color, depth, legs, size, cushion style, and even the cushion fill type. Here's a tip. Interior Define offers free swatches that you can order to see how the different fabrics will look in your space and lighting. This is another important step because it helps you to visualize how the materials and finishes work together with the rest of your design. We did this when choosing the velvet fabric for this sofa, and it made a huge difference because I felt confident when the time came to place my order. For this sofa, we chose the sapphire mod velvet fabric with brass-plated Sloan L legs. It's 75 inches long, 35 inches deep, and features a single bench seat cushion with a double down blend fill. The cushion is reversible, which I highly recommend because it helps the sofa to maintain its shape and beauty over time. Plus, you could flip it around to even out the wear. The fabric we picked isn't performance fabric, but if you have kids and pets, I'd highly recommend spending a little extra for that option. It's more durable and so much easier to clean, which is perfect for high-use spaces. This sofa is on sale right now for just around $2,000, including delivery, which is such a great deal. And speaking of delivery, it's white glove, which means they'll bring it into your home, unbox it, assemble it, place it where you want it, and take all the packaging with them. So you'll have no stress at all. I'll link this sofa and everything shared in today's video in the description below, so be sure to check it out. And for anyone new, I'm Nikki D, your go-to resource for design inspiration, furniture, and decor to make your home look like you hired a designer. If you love all things interior design, make sure to hit the bell and subscribe to the channel for a new video every Sunday. Now let's talk about the area rug, which really helps define the seating arrangement and grounds the entire space. I went with this abstract rug that has a neutral base of ivy and gray with blues and touches of yellow. The colors complement the artwork, which is the star of the show, but they don't overpower it. HomeGoods is one of my favorite places to shop for affordable rugs, which I showed you in this video. This is actually the second rug that we've had in this space. Our beloved Gigi, who has since passed, had an accident that was so bad I had to throw out the first one. It's a sweet memory, and now we have a new rug that feels just as special in this space. In the original design, we had a square coffee table from Tove. It had a beautiful white marble top that really lightened up the space, with a gold base that was the perfect blend of luxury and simplicity. It worked well, but it didn't have that much surface space. So when I had the opportunity to get this table from Expand Furniture, I jumped on it. Now, let me tell you why this table is so fabulous, especially for this space. It's actually an expandable coffee table, meaning that you can raise it up and extend it out to become a dining table that seats up to 10 people. It has 3 extension pieces that fit inside, so you can customize the table based on your hosting needs. This past Christmas, we were able to raise it up and play Monopoly, which worked out perfectly. Plus, it gives us the option of using this space as a dining room when company is over, which is an added bonus. At the time, it wasn't available in white with the gold base, or I probably would have chosen that one instead, but I'm still so happy with this choice. It's super practical and stylish, which is exactly the look I was going for in this room. To elevate the space, I added a bar cabinet. Not only is it functional for entertaining, but it also adds a touch of luxury. It took me a little longer to find the perfect bar cabinet because I was looking at some high-end options that weren't exactly budget friendly. Then I found this one at Crate & Barrel that has a similar look for way less. It really adds to that sitting room vibe, and we were able to move our alcohol collection from the basement upstairs, which makes it much more accessible. I stopped drinking almost 4 years ago, but my husband enjoys a cocktail every now and then. So having everything on the main floor is so much more convenient than having to run up and down the stairs. What I love about this bar cabinet is its functionality. It has designated spaces for standing bottles, glasses, wine bottles, plus a drawer for storing smaller items out of sight. This exact cabinet is no longer available, but Crate & Barrel does have some beautiful fluted or cane bar cabinets that will totally give you that chic sitting room vibe. I linked those in the description below, so be sure to check them out. This sitting room is on the smaller side, so to keep the space feeling open, I went with a lucite table next to the sofa. Its clear design creates an airy, expansive feel while being just the right size to display decor or set down a drink. Speaking of drinks, I also have a few drink tables that I move around between the rooms. For example, this C-shaped table is perfect for the other end of the sofa. Since there isn't much space with the bar cabinet, I didn't want to crowd the corner with another full-size table. This drink table is a great solution. It tucks under the sofa, giving you an extra place to put down your drink when entertaining without taking up too much space. Another piece from the original design was this chase lounge that fit perfectly in the corner. My daughter absolutely loved it, and it became her go-to spot anytime she was waiting on her ride. It added an elevated vibe to the space, but it didn't last long because I got bored and wanted to try different layout ideas. Over the years, I've had a few different setups in this room. There was a phase where we had two accent chairs with the table in between that gave it a balanced, symmetrical look. Another option we had was the tufted bench and ottomans that were stylish and practical. Then I also had the Christmas tree in the front window, so I had to move the furniture around again. Speaking of the tree, the years I decorated right after Halloween always gave my neighbors a little anxiety because I was so early. This year, I switched it up again. Not only did I decorate the tree later and move it to the corner in the living room, I waited till after Thanksgiving Day, but I also moved this 48-inch dining table to the front window. It completely changed the vibe of the room and now has more of a foyer feel when you walk in. I love how the decor looks on the table from outside. It's warm and invites you in. Over the summer, this was my go-to spot for getting work done. The natural light and view of the outdoors made it feel more productive and less alone while working. To tie the pink from the artwork to the other side of the room, I moved two pink ottomans here for extra seating and a pop of color. This not only balanced the space visually, but it added interest and functionality. This setup is also perfect if you want to keep an area for dining. Since it's actually a small dining table, I just have to add 4 chairs for a place to eat, or it can also be used as a buffet table when we expand the coffee table for larger gatherings. There are so many options. This is why I always recommend designing open floor plans together with pieces that can be moved around. When everything coordinates, it's easy to update the space and everything still works together beautifully. Lastly, let's talk about the decor, which is the finishing touch that makes any space feel complete. On the front table, I styled a grouping of 3 decor pieces. Odd number groupings are a designer favorite because they're more visually pleasing and dynamic than even number arrangements. On the coffee table, I kept it simple with a stack of coffee table books topped with a gold hand vase. If you're interested in my favorite coffee table books to learn interior design, check out this video, which is also linked in the description below. Speaking of coffee tables, my husband surprised me with these fresh flowers recently, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect for this video. I love keeping my decor simple and minimal for a clean, streamlined look. It also means less dusting, which is always a win. On the lucite table, I added another grouping of 3. A gold peace sign, a lucite Jenga set, and a marble tic-tac-toe game. These playful touches add to the cozy sitting room vibe, and during the holidays, you'll often find family members gathered around playing a game or two since they're right in plain sight. It's the small, thoughtful details that add your unique style and personality to a space. For example, we added a good vibes only neon sign. Not only does it set the tone and energy of the room, but it also adds another pop of pink, tying back to the artwork and creating a sense of flow throughout the space. And that, my friends, is a wrap on this dining room transformed into a cozy, stylish sitting room. I hope these ideas inspire you to reimagine your spaces and create a home you truly love. Remember, you have the freedom to design your home in a way that meets your needs and fits your lifestyle. If you're not using your dining room or any other space, why not repurpose it into something functional and stylish? Your home should work for you. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of designing any space in your home, I've got you covered. Sign up for my course, Design a Home 101. It's a step-by-step course that walks you through how to make your home look expensive and like you hired a designer. It has everything from finding your style to adding the finishing touches that make a home feel complete. Click the link in the description to learn more and sign up today. You'll also find links to everything I shared in today's video, including my storefronts and LTK shop, plus a blog post that you can pin to Pinterest to refer back to at any time. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. For more decorating tips and design inspiration, check out this video next. Love you all so much, and I'll see you next Sunday. Until then, happy designing. Ciao.